Hello! In this video I'm going to talk about how to symbolize sentences built with the word unless. So take the sentence, I will exercise unless it's rainy. As it turns out, this sentence is equivalent to, if it's not rainy, I will exercise. We don't have a word in our logical language that means the same thing as unless, but we do know how to symbolize if it's not rainy, I will exercise. And if these two sentences in English really say the same thing, if I will exercise unless it's rainy says the same thing as if it's not rainy, I will exercise, then we can symbolize I will exercise unless it's rainy, because we know how to symbolize if it's not rainy, I will exercise. So let's just see why these two sentences in English are equivalent. So suppose first that I will exercise unless it's rainy. And suppose it's not rainy. What do we know? Then what? I'm going to exercise. What did I just do? I just did a conditional derivation. We can conclude, if it's not rainy, I will exercise. See, it's so natural. You don't even notice you're doing it in English, and then there it is. So anyway, so what we really then know is this. If I will exercise unless it's rainy, if that sentence, if that's true, then also we know this. If it's not rainy, I won't exercise. So we know that if the unless sentence is true, then this conditional is also true. Does it go the other way around? Yes, it does. Suppose instead that if it's not rainy, I will exercise. Well, that means there's basically only one thing that will stop me from exercising. If it's rainy, you got me, I'm not going to exercise. But if it's not rainy, then I'm out there, I'm exercising. And that means that unless it is rainy, I'm exercising. That is, I will exercise unless it's rainy. So we can go in both directions. If the conditional is true, then the unless sentence is true. If the unless sentence is true, the conditional is true. But we need to be clear about which conditional it is. What we have is this. If it's not rainy, I will exercise. That's true if and only if I will exercise unless it's rainy. So what we have is we take the unless part, we negate it, we put that in the antecedent, and we say if that's true, then the I will exercise part is true. There are other ways to do this, but this because there are other ways to formulate this conditional in the symbolic language. But this is a good one. If it's not rainy, then I will exercise. So you take the unless, the part that the unless is attached to, you negate it, you put it in the antecedent, and then you put the other part in the consequent. So in general, we have P unless Q. What is that like? If not Q, then P. So that's it. That's what you need to know to symbolize a sentence like P unless Q. Take the unless part, negate it, it goes in the antecedent, the P is the other part. So there you go. That's P unless Q.